Bridge on-ramp. Police say the 19-year-old man sped away from officers who tried to pull him over because he was driving a stolen car. The teen continued on, and his engine died during the chase, so he wound up running up a ramp from the Henry Hudson Parkway to the city-bound upper level of the GWB, and that's when he plunged through a gap in the elevated roadway down to Riverside Drive below. The man later died at Harlem Hospital. His name has not yet been released. Well, if you can donate blood, local health officials are hoping you will, and that you'll do it soon. You see, they're reporting a massive, critical shortage this year. Another shortage with supplies of O-negative, critically low in area hospitals. 1010 Win spoke with Chelsea Smith of the New York Blood Center.
Now, during the summer months, you often see, more hours of daylight, a lot more outdoor activities, and people are more likely to sustain injuries that might require blood transfusions for treatment.
O-negative is the most common blood type used in emergency rooms because it's compatible with all other blood types. It was down to just a 2-day supply in recent days, as was B negative. President Biden closed out his trip to France for the 80th anniversary of the D-Day anniversary by honoring American war dead. He placed a wreath on the American Cemetery, the final resting place of some 2,200 Marines who fought through World War I, the Battle of Belleau Wood. Wings News Time, 1:46.
Happy birthday.
Hey, take a look outside.
No way. An electric bike? Can I take it for a ride?
We have a car versus electric bike crash on Main Street. Victim is a 17-year-old male and unresponsive. No sign of helmet use.
Don't let your gift become your grief. Work together. Learn about controlling an e-bike and operating it safely before they ride. Wear a helmet. Be careful in traffic. Slow down and follow the rules of the road. A message brought to you by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Numbers mean much to me because of prostate cancer. I'm Johnny Braggs, the number 2, for my stepfather who died of prostate cancer, and my uncle who suffered so much after prostate cancer surgery. The number 15, 15 years since Dr. Lederman's successful treatment of my prostate cancer. The number 0, which is my PSA, 0 after Dr. Lederman's successful prostate cancer treatment. What every man wants. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, important for every man with prostate cancer. 1, getting the most successful treatment. 2, avoiding radical robotic surgery. 3, keeping sexual function. 4, maintaining urinary control. Call my Dr. Lederman, 212 Choices. 212 Choices to consider his prostate cancer treatment for you. Most insurances, Medicare, Medicaid accepted. 1384 Broadway at 38th. Call 212 Choices for prostate cancer treatment. Call Dr. Lederman, 212 Choices. I'm glad I did. You'll be number 1 with Dr. Lederman.
The gun trial of first son Hunter Biden resumes today in Delaware. The testimony has been tawdry at times, but the Biden family has gone to great lengths to support him.
Jill Biden has been a regular presence in the federal courtroom in Delaware, and other family members have attended. Every family wrestles with personal challenges, whether they're famous or not, but the airing in open court of tawdry details surrounding Hunter Biden's addiction is an order of greater magnitude, and it's happening in the glare of an election year. While President Biden has not been there, the rest of the family has shown a steadfast determination to ensure Hunter Biden doesn't weather it alone. I'm Julie Walker.
Hunter Biden is accused of lying about his addiction on a federal gun purchase form. He's now in recovery. Trump supporters gathered in near 100-degree heat in Las Vegas, attending former President Trump's campaign rally. The rally in battleground state of Nevada was Trump's second since he was found guilty in the hush money scandal trial here in New York. Trump told the crowd that he's going to beat President Biden in November and, quote, make America great again. The Trump campaign has extra medics standing by because of the hot weather.
If anybody gets tired, you let me know. And if anybody goes down, if you start going down, we have people that'll pick you up right away. They'll throw water.
Another setback for the humanitarian relief effort in Gaza. Security concerns have led the UN Food Agency to pause its aid work at the new pier built by the U.S. military. World Food Program head Cindy McCain says a staffer was injured when two of their warehouses were hit by rockets Saturday during the Israeli hostage rescue. Hamas now claims a rising death toll in Israel.
A day after that air and ground raid that freed 4 Israeli hostages, the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry indicating the operation took a massive human toll, saying at least 274 people were killed, including dozens of children, and 698 others wounded. The IDF disputing those figures, saying the number of casualties was fewer than 100. The raid in central Gaza leveling entire buildings, burnt out cars littering the streets.
Correspondent Marcus Moore. Gonna get checked out the situation on the roads with traffic and transit and Ian Starr.
Some transit info first. If you take the subways, take note. Southbound D&N trains currently delayed due to a mechanical issue aboard a train at 62nd Street. Path trains, Journal Square to 33rd Street via Hoboken trains remain delayed due to track maintenance. Had a crash in the Bronx in the westbound Cross Bronx. 2 lanes blocked by exit 5A for Westchester Avenue. Overturned vehicle there. Try the service road to get around it, or even the Bruckner as an alternate heading westbound. And then the outbound Gowanus construction continues by the Prospect at exit 24. That road were blocked, delayed, and also closes the exit ramp. So to get to the Prospect, you need to continue to exit 23 for 39th Street, then take that east to 4th Avenue, take 4th Avenue northbound back to the Prospect. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Outbound Holland is closed. Take the Lincoln out. Inbound Lincoln, inbound Holland, no problems. GWB is construction-free and delay-free in both directions on both decks. Inbound Midtown Tunnel does have a lane of construction, but no major delays into the tunnel. You're good outbound. All lanes are open into Queens. I'm Ian Starr. Critics support at 201. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Matt Rindy.
For the early morning hours, it'll be partly cloudy. We'll have a shower in spots mainly north of the city. Low down to 62 in the city with mid-50s in some suburbs. Then later today, with a mix of sun and clouds, we'll have an afternoon shower in spots mainly north and west of the city. High climbing up to 76. Partly cloudy Monday night, low down to 58. On Tuesday, we'll have some mixing with clouds. A nice afternoon with a high again, 76. And then warmer weather on Wednesday with some sunshine. We'll have a high near 80. And then Thursday and Friday will be much warmer with sunshine and a few clouds. A thunderstorm is possible on Friday. Otherwise, highs in the mid to upper 80s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Rindy on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark commenting for the first time since being passed over for the U.S. Olympic team. The all-time scoring leader in women's college basketball says it just gives her something to work for in the future.
I'm excited for the girls that are on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and I know I could have gone either way, of me being on the team and not being on the team. So, I'm excited for them. I'm going to be rooting them on to win gold.
Clark is only a few weeks into her first WNBA season, but her game has been drawing big TV ratings as well as a record-breaking crowds at Indiana's road games. Well, 3 people are recovering from their injuries after a bull broke through during a packed rodeo in Oregon.
Mass confusion unfolds Saturday night in Sisters, Oregon, when a bull jumped the fence during a bull riding event.
It jumped the fence and I was like, this is going immediately wrong. I know this is not supposed to happen, because everyone started panicking, screaming.
Sisters Rodeo Association releasing a statement saying the incident occurred during the final section of the bull riding event, and the bull ran through the rodeo grounds and back to the livestock holding pens, adding, it was secured next to the livestock holding pens by our rodeo pickup men and immediately placed into a pen.
Correspondent Jacqueline Lee.
Paid actors represent actual clients.
After my truck accident, my attorney from the Barnes firm got me $1.4 million.
After my accident, insurance wasn't fair. My attorneys now at the Barnes firm got me $1.2 million.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. Most people don't know how much their cases were. Call the Barnes firm now and let us help you get the best result possible.
The Barnes firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
Past results don't predict future outcomes. Manhattan, Long Island.
Don't put off until tomorrow. Plaza Jewish Community Chapel believes in the importance of pre-planning a funeral, so the burden is not left on those we care about most. Call us for a tour and to learn more at 212-769-4400. Or listen to our podcast series, Exit Strategy, where end-of-life conversation and important topics are explored. Plaza Jewish Community Chapel provides you with a first-class funeral without the profit motive.
Wins News Time, 1:56 now. Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins.
Today's May jobs report could be an inflection point as policymakers continue to manage interest rates. It's expected non-farm payrolls will have risen by 180,000 after April's weak increase of 175,000. Average hourly earnings are also expected to increase slightly from April. If the jobless rate does come in as expected, it would mark the 28th consecutive month of sub 4% unemployment, which would be the longest streak in more than 70 years. The Fed will meet next week to consider all the data. Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference is next week, and sources say the company will introduce a homegrown app called Passwords. It's an effort to make it easier for customers to log into websites and software. The app can apparently generate passwords and keep track of them, and it can support verification codes and serve as an authentication app. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Nancy Lyons for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The Newark Department of Health and Community Wellness is offering COVID and flu vaccines. Inability to pay is not a barrier. Protect yourself. Protect your city. Make an appointment for a vaccine or other health services. Call our Mary Eliza Mahoney Health Center at 1-800-734-7083. That's 1-800-734-7083.
When history repeats itself, so does care. Since 1945, when the original care package inspired a spirit of shared humanity around the world, care has seen war and famine, pandemics, and natural disasters. But we've also seen the power of hope and resilience. Now, care works in over 110 countries, reaching over 170 million people. But we need you to help everyone reach their full potential. Join at care.org.
Bari Law is a unique immigration law firm because it was founded by an immigrant, Abadir Bari. Abadir understands the frustrations felt by clients when dealing with the immigration system. Abadir fled Somalia when he was 8 years old. His family received political asylum after escaping the civil war in Somalia.
Abadir Bari here. After attending law school, I turned my passion into my profession. I'm proud of my journey. I'm a former immigrant who became an immigration attorney. I'm thankful to have helped countless clients gain legal status. If you have any immigration issue, call Bari Law first at 646-894-5900.
The attorneys at Bari Law are experienced in handling all types of immigration cases. Bari Law can help you file for your green card or citizenship. Call Bari Law first at 646-894-5900.
As an immigrant myself, I understand what you're going through. My passion makes me take your case personally. Call Bari Law first at 646-894-5900.
WINS FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
1010 Winds AccuWeather forecast for Monday. High of 75 degrees. Pleasant with times of clouds and sun. It's shower in spots, but most areas rain-free. That trend will be continuing through the week. Tuesday, 76 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, you've got a high of 80 degrees. It's going to get hot for Thursday. Partly cloudy, 87 degrees, very warm. Real feel going up to 92 degrees. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than any other radio station in the nation. John Davis is our service aide. Walter Geis is at the editor's desk. And I'm Monica Guy.
time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. It's 64 degrees at 2 o'clock on this Monday morning. I'm Monica Guy. Here's what's happening. Latin Pride on full display here in Manhattan with the Puerto Rican Day Parade on Sunday. Speaking of pride, there was plenty of that on display, too, at the drag pageant in Williamsburg last night, and all of it for a good cause. Queens Fire brings 60 first responders to the scene. Rotors and swimmers, heads up! Stay away from certain parts of the Hudson until further notice. A catastrophic landslide out west closes a critical highway linking two states. Sports, the Yanks avoid a sweep at the stadium, taking down the Dodgers 6-4. The Mets winning 1 over in London, eking out the Phillies 6-5 in the final. Liberty win over the Mystics. Celtics with a win in Game 2 of the NBA Finals over the Mavs. Boston leading 2 games to 9. 10-10 wins AccuWeather forecast overnight. Partly cloudy, breezy. Lows going down to about 61 degrees in the city, 50 to 60 in the suburbs. Wins News Time 201 traffic and transit with Ian Stark.
Westbound Cross Bronx overturned vehicle by Westchester Avenue at exit 5A has 2 lanes blocked, so you're slowing down there naturally. What you want to do is get onto the service road before you get to that point, or use the Bruckner westbound instead to get around this problem. You also have construction in the outbound Gowanus and Brooklyn. The exit for the Prospect at exit 24 is blocked. So to get to the Prospect, you'll need to continue to exit 23 for 39th Street, then head east to 4th Avenue. And once you're on 4th Avenue, just take it north until you get to the Prospect, and you'll be officially done with that. You have some road work in Connecticut on southbound 95 in Westport at exit 18, and then also in Norwalk at exit 15, and then northbound on 95 in Fairfield at exit 22. 2 lanes are blocked by Round Hill Road. It's not really causing any problems, but should you choose to avoid this, you do have options like the Post Road and the Merritt. Those will get you around it, and they're both construction free. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Outbound Holland is closed. Take the Lincoln outbound. Inbound Lincoln, inbound Holland both look good. The GWB is construction free and delay free in both directions. I'm Ian Stark. Our next report at 2:11. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
As it has for 67 years, Sunday in New York celebrated Puerto Rican culture with a parade attracting tens of thousands of proud spectators along 5th Avenue.
A feast for the ears and the eyes with colorful floats and people enthusiastically waving the Puerto Rican flag. JJ is among the many watching the festivities.
I'm here to celebrate my heritage, check out the whole parade. It was news. I was like, I'm gonna come down.
And for Leanne, it's all about what she learned from her culture.
Respect, morals, love, being family orientated, and loving your family and loving your people.
One man came from Baltimore to be here saying there are only 2 places to celebrate being Puerto Rican, Puerto Rico and New York. Roger Stern, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM along 5th Avenue.
Well, thousands marched in the annual Long Island Pride Parade in Huntington to Heckscher State Park, one of the largest pride celebrations in the state of New York. David Kilmick is president of the LGBT Network, and he spoke with Wins about what Long Island Pride showcases.
Long Island Pride really showcases the diversity of our LGBTQ and allied community, all the wonderful groups and businesses and places of worship, and even the Boy Scouts who are marching for the first time ever in Long Island Pride. So many different groups, so many different people.
Well, speaking of Pride, the New York Blood Center holding its 19th annual Vaccine-O-licious drag pageant for HIV awareness and research in Williamsburg at $3 bill. Lots of performers and speakers, including local drag queens, past RuPaul Drag Race contestants, and HIV-positive community advocates were all there. John Bonelli is one of the event organizers, and this year's theme, Vaccine Volunteer Vote.
We want to create a vaccine. We're part of a global network and movement to create a vaccine. We need people to volunteer to roll up their sleeves and be in the vaccine study. And we have vote because it's an important election year, so we want to encourage people to register and get out to vote.
Well, brutal week-long heat wave loosening its grip slightly on the southwest this week, but forecasters say don't put the cooling fans away just yet.
Triple-digit heat sets in some areas of the Southwest Sunday, and it will stay that way through the week, says Todd Shoemake, lead meteorologist, National Weather Service office in Albuquerque.
We're looking at a high temperature of about 106 around the Phoenix area.
He says now's the time to check on the vulnerable.
Heat is usually the leading cause of weather-related fatalities. Everybody kind of thinks of hurricanes and tornadoes, but heat is really that underrated killer.
And the Southwest is in for a scorcher later in the week.
So lots of California, southern Nevada, Arizona, and even parts of New Mexico should start to see those temperatures rise.
I'm Julie Walker.
Well, AccuWeather calling for about 75 degrees for the high for Monday. Pleasant with clouds and sun, showers and spots. For Tuesday, pleasant with times of clouds and sun, high 76 degrees. Wednesday, 80 degrees, partly sunny. Similar situation, 87 degrees though, much hotter, partly sunny skies for Thursday. A fire tore through a house in Queens and the properties surrounding it Sunday afternoon. It happened at 624 159th Street in Whitestone. FDNY reports 60 first responders were on the scene. Now, they were able to bring the blaze under control just before 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, there's almost nothing left, though, of the home except for a shell. Neighbors suffered loss of their property, but they are all breathing a sigh of relief that no one was injured and all pets were safely evacuated. The cause of the fire still being investigated. Israel defending Saturday's daring daytime hostage rescue mission amid claims from Hamas of rising civilian death toll.
Pressure mounting further on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz announcing his party will leave the government over Netanyahu's handling of the war and calling on the Prime Minister to hold elections. Saturday's joyous scenes of hostages reuniting with their families giving way to continued demonstrations against Netanyahu in the streets. Israel estimating 80 living hostages remain in Gaza.
That's correspondent Marcus Moore. Now, there are reports that 274 Palestinians were killed and hundreds more were injured during that rescue mission. Narendra Modi was sworn in Sunday for a rare third consecutive term as India's prime minister.
Cheers erupted from his supporters at India's presidential palace in New Delhi. The 73-year-old popular but polarizing leader is only the second Indian prime minister to retain power for a third 5-year term. His Hindu Nationalist Party, which won by landslides in 2014 and 2019, this time failed to secure a majority to govern on its own. However, Modi's National Democratic Alliance coalition won enough seats to form a government, with him at the helm. This is the first time Modi's party has needed support from its regional allies to form a government, after a decade of commanding the majority in parliament. I'm Karen Shamas.
A large chunk of Mountain Road Pass collapsed in Wyoming over the weekend.
It's part of Teton Pass that collapsed Saturday morning in a massive landslide that severed the primary transit route between two cities in the region. Officials have not shared a timeline for the repairs process, but say they expect the road will remain closed long term, potentially jeopardizing almost half the workforce in and around the tourist hubs Jackson Hole, Yellowstone, and Grand Teton National Park. Carved into the Teton Mountain Range and running for about 17 miles, Teton Pass is the only direct route between Victor, Idaho, and Jackson, Wyoming.
Correspondent Matt Piper. Well, boaters, especially swimmers, a heads up to avoid part of the Hudson River in Westchester County until further notice. Millions of gallons of sewage is being dumped into the water just north of New York City. The Westchester County Department of Health says recreational activities in the water from Peekskill down to Yonkers should be avoided until further notice. The department says that Croton Park Beach and Phyllis Manor Beach will be closed for the time being as well.
CatsLawyersNY.com. They fight speeding and moving violations. They represent clients in auto accident cases and matters related to automobiles. They fight speeding tickets and moving violations. CatsLawyersNY.com. Call them at 212-747-0606. 212-747-0606. CatsLawyersNY.com fights DWIs and suspension revocation cases. Tickets are fought in all New York City courts and counties statewide. They have offices in Manhattan. CatsLawyersNY.com. Call them at 212-747-0606. 212-747-0606. They'll represent you in court so you don't have to appear and miss work. All they need is your driver's license and credit or debit card. That's it. Flat rate legal fees that cost less than you think. So the next time a cop knocks on your window, tell him who your lawyer is. Seth Katz and KatzLawyersNY.com. 212-747-0606. 212-747-0606. Call 24 hours a day.
Attention, New York homeowners. Are you facing foreclosure and owe more than